had clients in California come to Las Vegas and tell me, Jenny, we don't necessarily need another house. We want a property that potentially produce income for us. And that's a completely different conversation because when you're buying an income producing property in Las Vegas, we're not necessarily shopping the same way we would your primary residence. For example, let's say you have a California couple who has equity in their home. Instead of buying a vacation home that may sit empty most of the year, they decide, what if we purchased a property in Las Vegas and rented it out? Now, we have to determine what kind of income strategy that will make sense. Option number one would be a traditional long-term rental. Maybe we purchase a townhome or single family home in an area with strong rental demand. We look at potential rent, HOA, taxes, insurance, property management, and maintenance and vacancy. Then we ask, after all those expenses, does this investment still make sense? But that's not the only strategy. Option number two could be a property with a professionally managed rental program. Certain properties or developments may offer management or leasing structures where someone else handles much of the rental operation. And that sounds attractive, especially for an out-of-state investor. But we still need to understand the agreements, the fees, restrictions, and how income is actually generated. Then there are programs sometimes marketed using terms like rental guarantees or fixed income arrangements. And whenever my clients hear that, I tell them, don't stop at the income number. We need to understand who's making that commitment, how long it lasts, what's included, what's excluded, and what happens when the program ends. And that's another possibility. Maybe the property's income isn't spectacular today, but we're buying in an area where we believe future development, employment, population, or infrastructure could support long-term demand. Now, we're potentially balancing income today with appreciation tomorrow. And this is exactly why we use the PIER framework. P for position. Where are we buying in Las Vegas and who's going to rent there? I for infrastructure, what's happening around the property that could support future demand? And E, entry strategy, what's our acquisition price, financing, and expected income and exit plan? R for regulation and risk, what are the HOA rules, rental restrictions, vacancy risk, management costs, and other factors that could change our numbers? So when someone tells me, Jenny, I want to buy an investment property in Las Vegas, my first question isn't, okay, how many bedrooms do you want? My question is, what do you want this property to do for you? Because once we know the answer to that question, we can start building the right income strategy around it. And that's PIER in practice.